Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well and all of you are safe and healthy. This is Radhika here again, and this video is going to be about empath healing necessities. And this necessity that we will be discussing in this video is impulsiveness. So, a lot of empaths, when they are kind of in the recovery phase out of narcissistic abuse, um, they they struggle a lot with impulsivity, right? So if someone says something wrong to you or unjust to you or makes a demand out of you which is not up to your liking or which triggers you in some way, oftentimes you will give a very impulsive reaction to that, to a person, to a situation, to a life circumstance, etc. So, to lead a balanced life, we kind of have to get over our impulsive nature. And for most people, it is not impulsivity in everything they do, but in certain things, certain triggers, they elicit like a lot of impulsive reactions from empaths who are healing. And so the first thing to understand is it's not your fault that you have this impulsive nature. The impulsivity comes from a lot of repression of just probably like basic courtesy that people should have given you when you were in the narcissistic situation. So, first of all, you have to forgive yourself for the impulsivity that you have, and you have to see it as just that. It's a side effect, it's a remaining effect of the narcissistic experience that you have had, but it will slowly go away. It's not there for good. You can actually make it go away with time. And basically what that is you're healing your impulsive nature by putting in more conscious practices in its place. So first of all, internalize that it's not wrong if you do impulsive behavior. Just accept your impulsivity. Um, and then after acceptance, you have to put in some practical measures in place. So one of the very helpful measures that you can do is start asking yourself why. So uh, after every action you do, or before every action you do, ask yourself why. And this is for every action that you do during the day. So for example, I wake up in the morning and my impulse or the action I want to do is to brush my teeth. So then I'll ask why do I want to brush my teeth? And then you get the answer yourself, to keep my teeth clean. Okay, then similarly you can do all the other stuff. You don't have to do it on every action, obviously, because then it will really delay your day. But make it a practice to do it on most things. Like, say you want a glass of water, so ask yourself why do I want a glass of water? Because I'm thirsty, because drinking water is good for you. So you'll get one or two answers and then you're like, good. So now that you have gotten yourself into this practice of asking why, what happens is when someone says something that triggers you. So, for example, I'm just giving some random example. Say you don't have a job, and your family likes teasing you about that you don't have a job. So what happens is, say you are doing this why practice throughout the day, and your mom or someone triggers you, right? They say, oh yeah, but this one, he or she doesn't have a job. And your impulse at that moment is to yell at your mom at the top of your lungs, right? And but if you have gotten into this habit of asking yourself why, what you will do is, what you can do and what you should do is, when you get that impulse of yelling, you have to ask yourself why. And then you'll get the answer that because she annoyed me. And then you'll get like a whole backstory of that, because obviously this is a trigger point for you. So there's a whole backstory over why you don't have a job, right? Because of your mom probably, or something like that. So Basically, what you have to do is you have to stop yourself and ask yourself why. And then the second tactic is delaying. So, say you ask yourself why, and now what you do is if you want to yell at her, give yourself permission, okay, I will yell at her, but after 5 minutes. And give yourself that 5 minute break between the trigger and your reaction to the trigger. So give yourself that break of 5 minutes, and in that 5 minutes, maybe have a glass of water or go for a quick walk, um, or do some deep breathing. Go sit in a room somewhere else. Take a break. Take a break from the reactive environment that you are in. Separate yourself physically, or if you can't separate yourself physically, separate yourself mentally, or separate your actions from that person. At least turn away from the person. If you are in the same room, go busy yourself with something else in the room. So what you have to do is you have to buy yourself some time, and then you can, after 5 minutes, kind of ask yourself again, do I want to yell at her? And probably by that time your impulse has died down, and in that time maybe you get the answer that no, it's she's not worth it, she's not worth my yelling. So I hope this tactic was helpful to you, and to make it useful, really you have to do it on every activity that you do during the day. So if you want to have a glass of water, you have to ask yourself, why do I want water? And then you'll say, because I'm thirsty. And then you can also practice the waiting part on the water as well. Then you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to wait for 5 minutes and then I'm going to have water. In those 5 minutes I'm going to do some deep breathing. So what you're doing is basically you're training your brain to go into a instead of a reactive mode, it's going into a responsive mode, that to respond to this situation I will do these things, and then I will respond to having a glass of water. And this is a naive activity, it's an easy safe activity. So do it to safe activities first, like having a glass of water, having your lunch, turning on the TV, watching a video, etc. So when your brain gets into this habit, then when a triggering event comes on, like your mom taunting you about not having a job, you can actually use this same tactic, and you can control your impulse. And once you have controlled your impulse, be sure to feel proud of yourself. Be sure to congratulate yourself that you are retraining your brain after years